I'm Magali Cordaya-Simmons. I'm the Executive Director at the PRI, the Pharmaceutic Research Institute. We are regulatory science experts, so our work is to work with the scientific and industry community to adapt standards, methods that are used to develop medicinal products which are based on the microbiome. For every drug development, you have to demonstrate 3 pillars: the quality of the product, the safety of the product, and the efficacy of the product within a population of patients. And at the end of the day, we weight the benefits and the risk, because there is always risk with a drug product. For historically speaking, drug products were molecules that were getting into the blood of people and acting at different places. With microbiome-based drug product, the product is a bacteria or yeast, or many of them, and it doesn't get into your blood. It stays within your gut or within your lung or within your vaginal tract or within your skin. And so evaluating safety and efficacy is completely different. We cannot do the same way because they act on the human host or the animal host, but without getting inside the host. So the mode of actions that are at play are very different, and there is a large part which is educating the authorities because they are not used to that. What the legislative framework can do is set up the system that allows for these authorities to have a good communication, a good collaboration. So when it comes to questions like the analytical methods, for example, soil, stools, crops, animals, those are the same. We heard about it all day. It's about comparability of data. But maybe this is a place where those organizations and agencies could work together so we have one single standard that makes sense for everybody. So the legislation, whatever it is, should allow for those competent authorities to be able to interact in some very specific topics. That would be the best. But if we don't do that, we might impair a large part of the innovation on the microbiome because of the silos and being blind to whatever happens on the other side. I think there are ways to accelerate, and those ways is when the evaluators are educated about your innovation. And this is where we have a tremendous lack at the EMA level or within drug competent authorities in the member states. We do miss experts in microbiome within those competent authorities that could bring this particular microbiology expertise and a good feedback on the methods that are used to analyze the microbiome and to help better understand what is at stake. And that would accelerate the development. But we have to train them, because the scientists we're training today are those who are going to reach those organizations. In the meantime, we hope that they rely on the experts in the field to train themselves, but there is still work to do on that part. One sure thing is that in Europe, the investment on biotech is low in comparison to the US. We see the American companies in microbiome-based products going way faster than the European ones, for the reason of funding, but also for the reason of regulatory issues and bad microbiome understanding within the regulatory authorities. The US have a common law system, and we have a civil law system. So in the US, jurisprudence makes the law. And at the end of the day, when there is adverse events, accidents, issues, public health issues, companies pay large fees. It can be billions of dollars. In our system, the law doesn't allow for that. We make law a priori and then we apply the law. And within the pharma world, the tools that we have at the EU level for when there is accidents are less powerful, I may say, because it's really at the end of the day fees that have nothing to in comparison with what they pay in the US. So the responsibility shifts from the competent authority, from the industry to the competent authority. And it makes sense that the competent authority is, as you said, risk averse. We have to make sure before. When in the US, naturally the system will make the companies pay for their mistake. We don't have that. We don't have that here. And that is something which is often forgotten by people who say, oh, US, they are risk adverse. It just doesn't work the same way.